Having left his Steps days behind him, Ian H. Watkins is at the end of his year-long musical theatre course at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music. Last week, H set about landing the role that will enable him to graduate. But head of course Mary Hammond gave him some cause for concern.
I thought it was a bit cheeky-chappy, and I don't like that.
I don't really know the show, so I've taken it completely out of context.
Well, it still didn't work for me.
Fortunately, H got his act together and landed himself a pivotal role.
Excellent! I've got the baker!
Coming up today, H gets into character, he gives his final performance at the Academy, and after a year of hard work, finds out whether or not he's made the grade. A year ago, H arrived at the Royal Academy of Music, intent on gaining the skills and credibility needed to be taken seriously as a West End performer. His aim was simple, to pass the course. But the stakes were high.
If I fail here, then I may as well give up. Everybody's going to watch this and be quite intrigued, I imagine, to see if you can or can't do it. And if I end up not doing it, then I'm never going to work again.
H's final challenge at the Royal Academy will be playing the part of the baker in the end-of-year show. With the help of director Anne-Marie Speed, he has spent the past 4 weeks getting to grips with both the role and his newly acquired beard.
We're doing a musical called Into the Woods, and it's by Stephen Sondheim. And it's based on old fairy tales. But in a perfect world, fairy tales obviously have a happy ending, and in real life, it's not like that, is it?
Well, it goes beyond the fairy tales. Once we see that Cinderella gets her prince and Little Red is released from the belly of the wolf, and what happens afterwards? What happens when people get their wish?
Wait! That looks familiar. See there in the distance? 3 oak trees.
Oh, yes! I recognise those trees.
All right, very good. Let's try that one more time, shall we?
The end-of-year show is a full-blown production. There's 1 week to go before curtain up, and this means endless rehearsals, not only with the cast, but also a full orchestra. The baker is one of the leading roles, and H's performance will ultimately determine whether or not he passes the course. He's under no illusions as to what's at stake.
For each a role, for every man a religion, fantastic expectations, amazing revelations, final execution and resurrection, free expression as revolution, finding everything and realizing.
Basically, what's on the line here is my diploma, you know, my cap and gown. I need to graduate, because that's the whole reason why I started this process. You know, 12 months ago, I never thought I'd get this far. And I'm starting to believe in myself now that I could actually do this. And, you know, lots of doors have opened, and I'm experimenting and, you know, doing things I never thought I could do. So, for me to graduate, I need to, you know, get my together and basically do the best job I can, because there's no guarantee that I'm going to graduate at the moment. I'm just on my way into college now because we've got our first costume fitting today with our wardrobe mistress. And that's kind of the first significant part of my character, really. Oh, come on.
Come on, what?
I look like bloody Hovis boy. I need a pocket to put the beans in. Is that hat right? Are you sure? I still all look stupid. You sure about his hat?
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see him coming alive now. It's nice. Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm very excited now. I just want to get on stage and kind of run through it now, in this.
With the costume sorted, H decides to try out another facial hair option.
I'm all man. Rah. Can I try the witch one on?
No.
Oh, please, just once. I'll hold it up to my face.
Go.
Sadly for H, a convincing costume won't be enough to graduate, as head of course Mary Hammond explains.
Because we are a full member of London University, then everything has to be given a weighting. It has to be, I suppose, marked is the answer to that. And therefore, however anybody does in the end of year shows goes towards that. So it's important that they fulfill what the director wants in order to graduate. I thought a lot of what H came with was good instincts. I hope now that he's got more idea of how to take a director's direction, and I think he's on his way now.
Yes! He's the one to blame! It's because of you there is a giant in our midst and my wife is dead!
But it isn't my fault. I was given those beans. He was sweating me to trade away my cow for beans, and without those beans there'd have been no stock to get him to the giants in the first place.
Wait a minute, magic beans for a cow so old that you had to tell a lie to sell it, which you told. Were they worthless beans? Were they oversold? Oh, and tell us who persuaded you to steal that gold?
It's your fault.
No.
So it's your fault.
No.
The baker is a much more demanding role than H would have played 12 months ago. So with 24 hours to go, is he confident he can pull it off?
Those beans by the house was cooked. We just had our final rehearsal, and it went okay. There are still some areas for concern for me, really. There's a really emotional scene at the end with my father in the play. So that's what I need to focus on, really, to kind of draw on different emotions there. He's found out who his father is, but he's actually lost his wife and gained a child. So he has to weigh up, was it worth it, basically. No more giants waging war. Can't we just pursue our lives with our children and our wives till that happier day arrives? How do you ignore all the witches? These are pivotal moments in the play for my character, and I really want to hit the nail on the head, but at this present moment in time I don't feel like I'm there, so I've got a lot more work to do before tomorrow to just get myself kind of in that mindset.
The next day arrives, and with an hour to go before curtain up, director Anne-Marie delivers her final notes.
It's really important that you focus and you concentrate for this evening's performance. And really think about the story and really think about lines. Yeah. A moment's lapse in concentration makes a huge difference to the show. And you can't afford to do it.
There's just enough time for some last-minute preparations, and then the show starts.
Once upon a time. In a far-off kingdom. Behind the past. Not to stray. That's because of you! All this has happened!
The show comes to its dramatic finale, and it's time for H's big number.
No more giants waging war. Can't we just pursue our lives with our children and our wives till that happier day arrives? How do you ignore all the witches, all the curses, all the wolves, all the lies, the false hopes, the goodbyes, the reverses, all the wondering what even worse is still in store? All the children, all the giants, no more. that performance took me to a place that I'd never been before. And I was really upset at the end of it, so my voice cracked. But that's something I've just got to kind of deal with, really. You know, I've been up at 6 every morning and I don't get home till 10 at night. You know, I've cried, I've sweated, I've bruised, and I just really need that diploma because I've worked my arse off. I really, really have. And I think I deserve it.
Coming up after the break, H ends his year-long quest at the Royal Academy of Music and finally finds out whether he's passed or failed.
Is that a go-to? Looks a bit dodgy. I look like a rubbish Wolverine. It's not working for me, really. Ow! Right. Ow! Right. I've got a ginger moustache now. That's awful. And now I've seen it, I'm never having one again. Oh, what a feeling. Look, about 10 years younger, thank God. Don't act it, though.
It's D-Day for H. Does success or failure lie ahead?
It's quite hard to describe how I'm feeling, really, because this is it, really. I'm going to find out if I've passed or failed. I'm quite nervous now. I feel quite nauseous, actually. I've not had this feeling, God, this is my GCSE results. It's quite weird. The results are posted on a board up here somewhere, but we've just got to have a little look to see where they are.
It's been an epic journey that started long, long ago with a pop career that's now far, far away. It's been 8 years since his first chart success, 4 years since Steps split up, and 12 months since H took the boldest decision of his career and turned his back on his old pop star lifestyle. He beat off thousands of applicants to win a place on the prestigious year-long musical theatre course at the world-renowned Royal Academy of Music. There was a lot at stake.
If I fail here, then I may as well give up.
Overnight, he went from a pop star who hung out with A-list celebrities
Collins and Christina Aguilera, who I wouldn't if she was on fire now. Stupid.
to a man with a more modest position in the world.
I'm a student now. I shop at Primark. No frills beans.
He began the course full of optimism, but things did not start well. Having mimed for 6 years, his singing wasn't up to much.
Okay, let's do that again.
His acting was even worse.
Allow me to be frank at the commencement.
That started well. Do it again.
And when he combined the two, the results were often, well, not surprisingly, things all became a bit too much.
I feel like I can't do it. Really feel stupid.
But when the going got tough, H got going, and with some guidance from his tutors...
I want you to believe that you're good enough, and to feel that just to be who you are is enough.
A very capable performer emerged from within the cheesy pop star.
Bass! Bass!
Then, in front of the West End's elite agents, H turned in a tear-jerking performance.
We held the coastline, they held the highlands, and they were sharp as knives.
And finally, he managed to conquer his nerves to land a major role in the end-of-year show.
Excellent! I've got the baker!
His final performance at the Academy was one he simply could not have pulled off at the beginning of the year. But have his efforts been enough to gain that all-important pass?
I've passed. Not only have I passed, but I've passed with a distinction. I've got an award for excellence. It's called a DIPRAM. I can't believe it. I'm so left. I can't believe it. I've got an award for excellence. Hello? That's great.
Distinctions are only awarded to a handful of students. So what was it about H that made him stand out?
What I saw from him was a maturity of performance that I was looking for. So to let go, if you like, of the boy and become the performer that really is a man and can actually work, I think, well within the industry.
A week later, graduation day arrives at the academy, and so does H. But unfortunately, the right trousers haven't.
Right, well, I'm having a bit of a drama because I just found out that the robes are open in the front and I've got jeans on and everybody else has got a bloody suit on. So have you got black shoes on? Yes. I may have to borrow them, Dad. I'm not stealing things, but Ben's lending me a pair of black trousers because, as you can see, I've got jeans on. And I thought the robes were like cassocks, oh, I don't know what they're called. And they covered you all, but they don't. I got bloody jeans on. I'm gonna have to squeeze into a Ben's like 20-inch waist, and I'm like a 50-inch waist.
Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow low, through the streets in my kit I'll go. All the lassies say hello, down up where's your trousers, to wear the kilt is mine in line. It's not wrong, I know it's right. The islanders would get afraid of the sun.
God, I'm gonna have to undo my button when I'm sitting down. And I have to borrow a pair of my dad's shoes.
All the lassies say hello, down up where's your
Christ. Come on, let's go and get this robe.
Oh, just come down from the Isle of Scott. I'm nowhere big in the Montfaucon. The lassie showed when I go by.
Oh my God, is that a cue?
Let the wind blow, let the wind blow through the streets of Montfaucon. Oh, the lassie shall go blow.
That's the left, that's the right. I know.
To save my soul, grab your kill and go, go, go! Hey, Donna! Let the wind blow high, let the wind blow.
How long are we wearing this for?
Just for the ceremony. Are you standing in the queue now?
Oh, where's your trousers?
H emerges with a complete outfit. Problem now is making sure it stays on.
See you later.
He makes it to the ceremony on time, but it's a good job he's not required to wear a cap and gown every day of the week.
How does this work? Do you put the thing to the back? Have you got a safety pin? I think I love you.
Fortunately, a helping hand is able to pin down the problem. The guests of honor arrive, and the service begins with a rousing rendition of God Save the Queen. It's not one of his best performances. Then, after a few words of inspiration from the principal, the diplomas are handed out. His fellow classmates lead the way. Then it's finally time for H to step forward and become Ian Watkins, DIPRAM graduate of the Royal Academy of Music.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Where's my mother?
Pretend that it's all real.
You very proud of you. Well done.
Did you cry? Oh, she's crying.
No,
I was crying.
You weren't crying.
I bloody seat was I.
you can't say that.
Forget where you're coming from. Pretend that it's all real. So this will always
With his time at the academy almost over, H has his final chat with head of course Mary Hammond.
Well, you've done it. It's not a given to graduate from this course. You know, you have to earn your stripes, and you've done it. I'm really pleased.
With flying colours?
Absolutely. You've got. Oh yes, you have, haven't you? That's because you did such a good performance, and you worked very well, and you worked hard on it. So good on you. I wish you lots of luck. You've been a really nice person to have around. It's been a happy year for all of us, I think. So
yeah.
Wish you well.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I've got my certificate. I've given my parents a kiss for coming, and I've just got one last thing I want to do. So, follow me.
So with his year-long journey finally coming to an end, it's time to pass on one of the Academy's traditions.
Dear musical theatre student, well done. Work hard, challenge yourself, and you'll go far. Follow your dreams. Love, H. Well, that's it. I've just handed my gown in, and I'm ready to leave now. 11 months of hard work, but I understand this is where the hard work starts. So, wish me luck.
There ends H's adventure at the Royal Academy of Music. His hard work has paid off, and a new career in the West End awaits. Or does it?
You're not going to believe this. I've literally just graduated today with flying colours, and I've got back today, and Steps want to get back together.